Hey guys, it's Charity from ALoopandaHook, and today I am going to be doing a bunch of different baking for the holidays, for Christmas, gifts that I want to give out to some people that I know. So I'm going to be bringing you along while I do that. So I do have a decent sized list of everything that I want to get done. Might not sound like a lot, but it is currently right around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I spent most of this morning editing a video to upload next week for you guys, and then also publishing another video. So that took a little while, so I'm just getting started now. But today I'm planning on trying to get done. I'm gonna make some blueberry pop tarts, some gingerbread bread, like actual bread, not like gingerbread cookies. I want to make homemade pasta for dinner. And then these two are extras, things that have to get done within the next, couple of days, because I need them. But if I get them done today, that'd be great, as I need to make a chocolate cake and then a carrot cake for part of Christmas dessert. So I'm going to bring you along while I do that. We'll see how much of that I get done. I have to finish cleaning the kitchen first, then I have to run down to Mom's house to grab some cake pans and then a couple of ingredients that I don't currently have that she does have, that she bought in bulk. So I'm going to pick some of those ingredients up and then we'll get started baking. So I got back from grabbing a couple of the ingredients from Mom's house, and now I'm going to start working on the little Pop-Tarts that I'm going to be making. So I am doubling this recipe because I have a whole bunch of people who I want to give this to this year as little gifts for Christmas. So I'm going to make a double batch. We'll see how they turn out. It's always a little bit scary, especially for me, using a Pinterest recipe when I'm making something for someone else, because I've had Pinterest fails before. And I don't want these to end up failing, and it's always a little scary for me when I'm using somebody else's recipe that I've never tried before, and I'm just hoping it turns out well. So I got all the butter mixed in with my pastry cutter. I cut it all up, but there's nice little chunks. So now just got to make the dough. Just added the water and the vinegar to make the dough. I want to make sure I added the right amount of water. Need another quarter cup. There we go. So essentially what this is doing is it's just making like a sweeter pie crust. And then, we're going to roll it out. I have to make the filling next. So I'll do that, but this has to go in the refrigerator to chill so it can get nice and firm so I can roll it out. When I normally make a pie crust, I'm normally adding, I think it's either 3/4 of a cup to a cup per 2 cups of flour. So I'm not surprised I needed more, because this only called for half a cup for 5 cups of flour. So not at all surprised I need a little bit more. Getting there. Okay, there we go. All came together. So I'm going to wrap it in plastic wrap and then refrigerate it, and then we'll roll it out in a little while after it's chilled. So the next thing we're making is the filling for the Pop-Tart. So this recipe calls for a blueberry filling. You definitely could do other fillings. Some of the recipes I was looking at on Pinterest called for just jam, which would be a lot easier. But I really do want to just, you know, make it from scratch. So I'm just gonna do the blueberries. So it calls for like the 4 cups of, it says fresh or frozen, which is perfect because I have frozen. Oh boy. So I'm gonna do these frozen blueberries. It's also been something that's been sitting in my freezer for a little while. Not a really long time, but I've had them in there for a little while. So I've been trying to use them up. So this is perfect opportunity to use them up. Okay, perfect. Might be a little bit more than 4 cups, but who doesn't like a little bit more blueberries? And just add those to my pot. I already added everything else. And we're gonna just cook that down. There it is. I'm gonna mix it up in just a second. And we're gonna let that cook down until it gets nice and thick. Then it says to let it cool for a little while. And then we'll roll out that pie dough, the crust, and then I can add that into the mixture. So the next thing we're gonna make is the gingerbread loaf. So the first thing it said to do, I'm gonna just do it first, is that it said to combine the molasses and the hot water together. We're gonna just do that now. Okay, so there's that. That can start combining together. But then it says combine the butter and the brown sugar together. So I'm going to do that next. Pretty much sounds like we're making a cookie. A cookie batter. And then we're going to go from there. Okay, and then it calls for a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Because I'm doubling the recipe, I'm going to do a cup of brown sugar. So there's 1/2 cup. A little bit more. There we go. There's the brown sugar. It says to mix those together. So it calls for 2 eggs. Because I'm doubling once again, we're going to do the 4 eggs. So I am using duck eggs. Colin's boss has ducks. And so he gave us some duck eggs. Never used them before. But I was reading online and I heard you can use them when you are baking. They work really well in baking and make things rise really well because the yolks are bigger. So we're going to try them and we'll see how they work. They are nice, really big yolks. I'll show you guys in just a second when I'm done cracking them. Don't know if it will let me focus, but you can kind of see really nice big yolks. So it said the eggs and the vanilla. I'm going to add the vanilla, turn on the mixer. Let's add the eggs little by little so that we don't end up with, you know, eggs slopping everywhere, which would not be a good thing. So just need to add the lemon juice to the blueberries. I'm going to do that, and then it needs a little bit of stirring, and then the blueberries are done. Blueberry filling is done. So that's always a good thing. I like getting things checked off the list. Okay, so that's good now. Now I have to scrape down the sides. Okay, so I'm going to add spices, baking soda, and then I think I'm going to add half the flour to this. So 2 teaspoons of ginger, so that's 4 teaspoons of ginger. So there's that. There's the ginger. Need the cinnamon. Doing a good job at making a mess all over the counter. There's cinnamon, and then cloves. And our little bit of salt. And then I'll do a cup of flour to start. Start out with that 1 cup of flour, and then we'll add more. It's starting to smell like ginger. It smells really good. Now I'm going to add roughly half of molasses and water. That's about half. Mix that in. Okay, so there's the rest of the flour. the rest of my molasses. There we go. Okay, so that's done. Now I need to go get loaf pans for that. So the next thing I'm making is the pasta. This is just going to be for Colin and my dinner tonight, so I want to get that in the refrigerator and chilling as soon as possible so that I can get done on time for when he is getting home. So I'm going to just do that right now real quick and we'll go from there. So it's been a little while since I last updated you guys. I made the pasta dough and got that in the refrigerator, so that's chilling now. My camera battery just died, so I had to charge those real quick before I could get anything else. But I did end up filling all the little Pop-Tarts. The blueberry filling thickened up super, super nice. I could have only done one batch. I had so much extra, but we'll use it in other things. I might make another batch of tarts, but not tonight. So I might just use that later, but they look really pretty. They're in the oven now. I'll show you what they look like. The gingerbread breads all came out of the oven. Those look and smell really good. I don't think the chocolate cake or the carrot cake are going to get done tonight. I don't think it's just feasible at this point because it is 8:30. So the pasta, we still haven't eaten dinner. I'm waiting for Colin to get home and then we'll eat dinner. Wanted to make fresh pasta and like spaghetti and meatballs. So I think it should be really good once, you know, he gets home, but I want to have that ready for him. So I don't know. Right now I'll figure out something else to do in the meantime. Maybe I'll work on, you know, the chocolate cake, because the chocolate cake is a little bit easier than the carrot cake, but we'll see what I get done. So as normal after baking, you know, there's a mess. Not too many dishes, but you know, there's still a mess. Need to wash the dishes. But here, so yes, the breads turned out looking really good. They smell really good too. So I think they're cool enough for me to wrap up. So I can give them, or wrap them up and get them ready to give out tomorrow. So I'm going to do that next, but also the top tray is almost done. You just had to wait for them to get golden brown, but they look really good. They smell good. I think everyone who's getting them should really enjoy them. At least that's what I'm hoping. But they turned out looking really, really pretty. So you kind of can see that's how much blueberry filling I had left. It was almost exactly half of it. I did use this scooper, cookie scooper. It made my life a whole lot easier because it was like a consistent measurement for how much to put in the filling, but it's so practical. I use it all the time. So if you don't have one of these, I definitely recommend investing in one of them, and I will link that down below because of how helpful that has been whenever I am baking anything. So the Pop-Tarts came out of the oven and they look really, really, really good. You can tell a couple of them had, you know, a few blowouts. So I'll just take one of my pastry spatulas and I'll shove it back in there. That was one thing I learned when I was working at the bakery, that if you just take that pastry spatula while they're still hot, you can shove the contents or your fillings back in with almost no problems and without losing any. That's also another reason why I put it on the parchment paper, was so that we didn't lose any of the, you know, it made easier cleanup, plus it was easier for me to scrape everything back in. So the next thing I'm doing is I'm going to just put the glaze on top of the Pop-Tarts that just came out the oven. Doing the ones that came out probably 20 minutes ago first. And then I'll do the other ones after the second batch cools off. I'm actually getting to use one of the little piping bags that I got the other day at the thrift store. So I'm happy I'm getting to use that. So one thing I'm just thinking about now that that the glaze and everything is already in the piping bag, but I could have done a lemon glaze, and that would have gone really, really well with the blueberry. Because lemon blueberry is a classic flavor combination. Let's try doing this way. Look at that. Now I know I could have done this by spoon, but piping bag I like better. I have more control over, you know, how much ends up on the Pop-Tarts. Tip it upright so it doesn't leak everywhere. Those look so good. Wish I wasn't giving them all away, but they look really pretty. So I'm glad I'm giving them away because they look pretty. So I'm rolling out the pasta dough right now, and I already did half of it. I just wanted to kind of show you guys. It turned out really nice. It's a really nice dough. Never made pasta before, so I don't know if this is the way it's supposed to act, or if it's doing what it's supposed to. I know you can use one of like those pasta machines where it flattens everything for you. I don't have one, and I know you can roll it by hand super thin. So we're gonna just try that. We'll see how it turns out. Not holding the highest hopes in the world. I mean, I hope it turns out good, but if it doesn't, well, I'll be a little disappointed. Because after working on it and thinking about it for a while, I am hungry. And I want some nice homemade pasta. So I've been rolling this really thin, because I don't want it to be like doughy. But I just hope I'm not rolling it too thin. I don't think so, because when you think about pasta, you know, you have your angel hair, which is super, super tiny. And then you have your, you know, thicker, like fettuccine sort of noodles, linguine. Then elbow, you know, elbow macaroni is kind of a thick pasta, so don't think you can mess up pasta that badly. You know, it's literally flour, eggs, oil, and salt, so I think it would be a little difficult to mess it up that badly. So I finished making the pasta. I'm going to boil it right now, and then I'm frying up some meatballs to go with that. So everything, I'm almost done with cooking and baking for the night. It's like 10:30 at night, a late night, but it is what it is. So I am going to call it a night of filming. I'll show you what the pasta looks like after it is cooked, because I know that's what everyone wants to see. But I am going to end the video here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I am going to be putting a whole bunch of links in the description for all the different recipes. All the recipes I did put on my Pinterest board. So if you head over to my Pinterest board, I'll link that in the description below. You can find all the recipes in one place, along with other ones that I didn't include in this video, but that I've tried and that both Colin and I, and sometimes my family, really, really likes. So go make sure you check that out. I'll include a couple of the kitchen tools that I use on Amazon, so I'll link those below as well. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, be sure to like, subscribe for more videos like this. I'm hoping to do more cooking videos, but we'll see how that goes. So anyway, I'll see you all for the next video. Bye.